What's going on, y'all? My name is Joltage, and today I'm bringing you my week 1 LCPL recap. Yeah, I'm gonna go over last week's results first here, and we'll just hop right into it. I'm gonna try and do this every week, by the way. But yeah, alright. So, first game we have up is the Charming Krogrunts, my team, managed by Coconut, versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Tortugas, managed by Mackle. This game started off, as you can see, this game tied, but it started off with Haysup pulling out a 2-0 victory in his DPP best of 3 that he and Kumio played. That was first blood for this series, like third game played overall, I believe. After that, Blara lost to Fuli. For some reason, Blara was really into Toxic on his Tangma team, and it just didn't quite work out for him. Following that, CBB picked up the victory over Guao with a phenomenal endgame. The major play that ended that one was him switching in his Ghastly to the Mienfu on the high jump kick late game, and it just won him from there. After CBB's loss, I lost to GGGGD. How the fuck you say his name? Yeah, it's really annoying to say that guy's name, actually. Anyway, you can find that game on the channel already. I talked about that. And then after my loss, Anti, aka Kratos Mana, lost to Sken in a tough one. Slowpoke just proved to be really annoying in general. But Tarn saved the tie for us, pulling it out versus Atomic Llamas thanks to a very useful rock slide miss. Though Tarn was not super lucky early game, the rock slide miss definitely helped and allowed us to actually pick up the victory. Yeah. Next game we have the Morningwood Timbers, managed by Hawkstar, Celestavian, and versus OP Squirtle Squad. This series started out with the Timbers jumping out to a 2-0 lead on the back of 2-0 and the Avalanches picking up victories in their respective tiers. 2-0 winning a solid game versus Cheek Pouch and Avalanche, and TA beating Nineage, who was quite salty that TA brought Swirlix in Tangma, which I don't really get, because if you're playing Tangma, obviously you should prepare for Swirlix. And there's some sort of, apparently some sort of gentleman's that's going on, but, I mean, TA didn't know about that, so, I mean, that's on you. You should prepare for the threats in the tier. IMO. Anyway, then Alice Kazumi made it 3-0 for the Morningwood Timbers with a victory over TCO in DPP. This one was not a best of 3 like in the Haysup versus Kumio matchup in the previous game. But yeah, so the Morningwood Timbers at this point are looking really good, but the Squirtle Squad fight back through victories from Fap King and Zorodark. Fap King had a little bit of hacks, but he won, and as did Zorodark, winning after Fiend didn't quite get the roll he needed on the rock slide. But it was Sweep who was able to pull out the victory for his team on the last game of the entire week, actually, versus RSSP1, who was subbed in for Call of Lochi. Literally 15, who was subbed in for Call of Lochi, who showed up literally as the game was starting, so that's funny to me. Probably should have waited. Lochi was apparently 15 or so minutes late, but they weren't being patient. They still had time, but you know, happens. But anyway, the Morningwood Timbers pick up the victory over the Squirtle Squad. And let's get into the next game. We got Snivy Subterfuge, managed by Jack, versus Los Mambos, managed by Mambo, not Mambos. He's singular. Anyway, this game started off with the first blood of the entire week, with Slurms picking up the victory over 30k God Confide, in a kind of weird, not great game. But Slurms was able to pick up the victory, and that's what counts at the end of the day. But TCR was able to answer right back with a dominating performance against Vileman in their BW game. TCR's team was just perfect for the game, and he just played it really well at the same time. Following that, Madoka won on the back of her Drifloon that she's so known for. Cased, for some reason, brought Future Sight Barboast, which can't say I'm a fan of. It did put in a little bit of damage before it died really early, but I feel like if you're going to use Future Sight, there are probably better users, but you know what? I'm never one to hate on innovation. I just need to see that it works. But yeah, so that was interesting. Abs Daddy made it 3-1 for the Snivies, picking up a win over the subbed-in Pearl. Pearl was subbed in for 49, and Abs Daddy was able to pick up the victory in Tangma. But Fatty was able to show he still got it, the old man. Well, he's not that old, but he's been around for a long time. Anyway, he was able to pick up the victory over Tricking. And V, who apparently created LC, I wasn't around back then, I don't know, but he apparently created it, was able to pick up the victory versus Rasari, or Razari, however the fuck you say it, and rescue the tie for his team, making it the second game of the week to tie. And we head into the final game. As you can see, this also tied, so the Timbers were the only team to pick up victory, but we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about this game between the Naughty Noibats, managed by Melon, and the Massive Stat Boost Munas, managed by Levy. I don't know why Levy can't pick a normal name, but you know, it's fine. Anyway, the first game of this one was ZF picking up the victory over Fitzy on the back of a shoulder sweep. ZF's team actually looked like a straight ORAS one, but you know, obviously the moves and stuff were geared for the BW metagame. But yeah, strong performance by ZF there. And then Kushalos was able to pull one back for his team, though, after Starmaster was sacrificed to him. Starmaster had a weird team because he relied on Levy to make it, and Levy likes Trap Inch for some reason, and didn't really help him out, apparently. Anyway, Aladdin was then able to pick up the victory in Tangma over Tahu, who also used a Trap Inch for some reason. I've never been high on Trap Inch, and it hasn't. It's 0-2 this LCPL, so I need to see some results. But it's a good win for Aladdin, and at this point the Noibats were up 2-1. But UU Jesus Teal 6 was able to grab the victory over Apget, who I'm actually kind of surprised wasn't playing Tangma. I feel like he's a really good Tangma player. Or yeah, I mean, I guess Noibats have a lot of have strong Tangma, so he can play ORAS. But yeah, but like I said, Teal 6 was able to pick up the victory. Machis then was able to pick up the victory over Shrug, making it 3-2 for the Noibats, giving them a chance to pull out the victory. Machis got a pretty important crit on Shrug's Torchic that made it really difficult for Shrug to win the game. I'm not sure if Shrug completely won the game without that crit, but certainly he wasn't winning without it. He wasn't winning after that happened. But Levy was able to sub himself into the DPP matchup after IFM kind of just went MIA, as IFM kind of does. And he was able to rescue the tie and pick up the victory against Brazilian Army. So let's look at the standings here. We've got the Timbers up top, and then a 6-way tie for second place, really. They're sorted by alphabetical order there. But yeah, so Timbers are on top right now. They have a +1 differential, 2 points on the season. And we've got Squirtle Squad languishing in 8th, but it's still obviously really close, and it's still week 1. So no team has really pulled away yet. This will be more interesting as the season goes on. But now let's look forward and take a look at this week's matchups. Alright, we've got the Squirtle Squad versus the Charming Krogrunks. In the ORAS matchup, we've got Nudisto versus Dexe. Neither of these two players played last week, so it'll be their first time getting some LCPL action. And should be a solid game. Dexe is just one of those tour players who's obviously just really good. And Nudisto, I haven't really seen much of, if I'm honest. In the other two ORAS matchups, we got Zorodark, the hot Belgian, versus Burks. Should be a decent matchup. And we've got Fat King versus Shake, aka Tsunami, aka Shake. Another one of those tour players that the Krogrunks are full of. Tangma matchup, we've got Nineage versus Blarajan. At time of recording, it's already happened. But I'm gonna pretend like it hasn't and say it should be a good. I don't really know why I should pretend like it happened. But yeah, you'll get the results in next week's show. Anyway, BW we've got Cheek Pouch versus Innovamania. And then DPP we've got Spark Train versus Haysup. I know Haysup's this game has also already happened, and Haysup loves to play those best of 3 DPP series, so we'll see how that happened next week's show. Looking over at the Los Mambos versus TMNT matchup, we've got Fatty versus Guao in the first ORAS matchup, Case versus GGGGD. The Brazilian ORAS core for Mackle there. Next we've got 30K Confide versus Sken, which should be a pretty good game. I'm actually kind of looking forward to that one. In Tangma we've got 49 versus Fully. BW we've got TCR versus Llamas, Atomic Llamas that is. That should also be a pretty good matchup. Llamas is a pretty solid BW player, and TCR looked really strong this past week. And finally in DPP we got V versus Kumio. Yeah, we've got some pretty good games so far. I'm really looking forward to that Confide Skin matchup. I think that'll be pretty good. I don't really see a major highlight in the Squirtle Squad versus Krogrunks game, but this Los Mambos TMNT matchup's definitely looking tasty. IMO. On to the next set of games, we've got the Munas versus the Timbers in the first matchup. In the first ORAS matchup, we've got Starmaster versus Sweep. Starmaster is 0-1, Sweep is 1-0. So let's see if they can continue that trend, or if Starmaster can reverse that. Maybe he can actually build his own team this week. Yeah. Next up, we got Shrug versus Vubon. Both players 0-1. Someone's getting a win this week. Should be a pretty solid matchup. Next up in ORAS, we've got Infamy versus Alice. Alice playing ORAS this week after picking up the victory in DPP last week. Yeah. And the Tangma matchup, we've got Tahu versus the Avalanches. I kind of look forward to this game. I don't really like Tangma as a meta, but I feel like these are two very competent Tangma players. And we've got a real highlight match coming up in the BW slot with ZF versus 2-0. 2-0 is very well known as a strong BWer. And ZF is just also thought to be just one of the strongest players in general in LC, so that should also be quite the good matchup. And finally in DPP, we've got IFM, hopefully you can actually play this week, versus Fiend. I know Fiend really likes DPP, that should be solid. I think all of these games are going to be solid, but yeah. And our final matchup of the week, we've got the Noivats versus the Snivy Subterfuge. We've got Apget versus Madoka in the first ORAS slot, which should be a pretty strong game. We've got Kushalos versus Tricking next up. I don't know. Actually, I have no idea if any of these other games have happened yet. I've really been paying attention to my team more than anyone else right now, but either way, you'll be getting the results next week. Anyway, we've got Majas versus Slurm is in the third ORS match. Let's hope that could be a pretty like weird game. I feel it just has that kind of feel to it, where it could be like really hacksy or just kind of one of those weird ones. Tangma, we've got Aladdin versus Abs Daddy. Another potentially solid game. BW Fitzy versus Vileman, and in DPP we've got Boo 836 versus Razzery. Again, solid matches. I think the most looking forward to, I think the most enticing matches on this page have to be that ZF20 game, and I gotta say that Tahoe TA game as well should be pretty good. But yeah, anyway, before we close out the show, I'm going to take a look back at last week's prime time players. This is going to be a segment each week where I'm going to highlight like 2 players who I thought performed pretty well, or at least gave some important performances for their teams. And first up, we've got Sweep, who was able to take out RSSP1 and actually secure his team a victory, granting because his team was the only one that did that. So very important performance from him, and he just looked pretty solid in it. And my second primetime player is going to be TCR, who, like I said, was really dominant looking in his BW game versus Vileman. And yeah, I think both of these guys are pretty deserving primetime players this week. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today. If you enjoyed, please feel free to leave a like, comment with any feedback you may have, and stay subscribed for more LCPL action. It's not going to be as thick and fast as my SPL coverage, but I'm going to try and do my best with it, okay? But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed, I hope you enjoyed, and my name is Joltage. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.